一段決 Grease Perfect!
Are you ready?
Farmers Festival! Grease Perfect! ガキンゴキンガコンドッキング!
Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Grease Perfect Kingdom. Now, those who know, I am a big fan of Kamen Rider Grease, which is why I bought the P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Grease, his base form, and his P-Bandai of Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard form, which was seen in the around the end of the series, and then finally I bought the P-Bandai exclusive, his Perfect Kingdom form, which is basically from the Kamen Rider Grease movie. And yeah, now I have heard a lot of opinions regarding this form. Is that it looks just too different, and it looks too colorful, and some people love it, some people hate it. I totally understand both sides, but for me, I'm a big fan of Kamen Rider Grease, which is why I bought this, and I actually love the way how this forms look. Those who don't know my channel, I am a Gunpla reviewer channel, but I also review Kamen Rider stuff or other stuff if I find it interesting. So this is the best combination, which is a Kamen Rider Grease himself is already using a robot concept, but now he went from a normal robot to a super robot concept here. Alright, so this review is going to be fairly simple because there's not much any equipment that I could really demonstrate, so I won't be going over the posing examples or posing demonstrations on that one for this figure. Alright, so let's see what we got. So let's talk about components first before I go over some mini comparisons. So before I start, hand-wise, we get 2 normal fists for left and right, and then for the build driver, obviously, we get the belt, and then we get the Perfect Kingdom. I believe that's what they actually call this device as well. And if you actually bought the DVD set and got the DX version of this, I believe it should also mention it's the DX Perfect Kingdom. Yeah, other than that, all we get is 4 hands. And number 1 is we get 2 hands, which is one for left and right. We get the typical open hand. We've seen these before from other riders, so nothing too special. We get a pointing finger, which is pretty much meant for the posing, for the henshin pose for Kamen Rider Grease. And then we get this. This I wasn't really expecting, but this was a really nice bonus for me. Is basically that this is the hand that holds the dog tags for the 3 crows as well. Before this, the only way you could actually get this is to purchase the P-Bandai exclusive Kamen Rider Grease set, which would include Kamen Rider Grease and then the 3 crows. Of course, the 3 crows aren't exactly SHF; they're just statue figures, as far as I know. So this was a really nice addition for me. Alright, so before we go over on the articulation, let's do some comparison. So, yeah, I'm not even sure this is really necessary for a comparison, but as you can see, it looks very different. I mean, from Kamen Rider Grease to Grease Blizzard, we can see, traces of the original design, but still, this one, we can barely see any traces, but we can still see, same formats of the shoulder, other than the red cannons, but still, yeah. So I totally understand that for those who aren't a big fan of this form. Okay, let's go over articulation. So before I start with the basic articulation, I should mention that there are some parts that are going to collide. I'm not saying that to the point where it actually bothers the articulation a lot. I just want to mention that because for those who are really sensitive to paint chipping, just be aware of. And yeah, number 1, the head. So the head can go down and up, so that's pretty good. 360, not able. Keep in mind, it's a human inside. So I would like to mention, just be careful with the horns because they're not that they're fragile. It's just that you don't want to break one of these parts. They are very important for the design. And I would like to mention the color. They did a really good job on the color, especially differentiating the yellow and the golds. You can see they're both metallic, but you can see they're different. Okay, and then let's get the shoulders. The shoulders, we have your basic forward and backward movement going on here. The shoulder arm itself can move because I believe this is connected on a ball joint. And then the arms can go, wait a moment. Okay, it was stiff for a moment, so you can go almost 90 degrees to the side, and then the arm itself can go 360. And then this red part, which is actually can be used as a laser cannon seen in the movie, can rotate as well. These are not the type of pegs where you can just pull it, like you can unplug it, so don't force it. So you can go 360. Of course, if you're sometimes this part can collide with the backpack, so be careful. And the arms have about 90 degrees bend, and then we still have your typical SHF figure arts hands, which means that the ball joint is on the arm. And one thing I was really impressed is that on the lower arm we also have its own, the blade of its own has its own articulation, so we can actually reposition the blade any place you want to do so. And the entire arm itself also has a 360 rotation, so very good. Body articulation wise, we have an ab crunch, but despite being an ab crunch, it doesn't really go forward that much, but it does go back a lot. So that's really good. And then once again, I think I did show the belt. We pretty much have the same details going on, and of course, despite being a build driver, if you saw the hands, they don't actually give you a dedicated hand to hold the build driver handle. So that was one part that I actually found a little bit odd. But okay, nothing too terrible. And then we still have the, I'm not sure if they really needed this, but yeah, the bottle holder is still there. And then the legs, very nice color instead from going from gold to going from the original gold legs to the build driver's Grease Blizzard legs, which had blue. Now we have metallic silver, and I think this is more of gold or copper color on the knees. So we have a nice side swivel going on here, and then we can go forward about 90 degrees or almost 90 degrees. Back not so much, because while the front is like this, the back actually has a much more larger bottom. So yeah. And then we have a nice bend going on here, so pretty much basic. And then we have, feet wise, we have a nice rotation on the ankles, and then we have a nice pivot going on here with a nice toe bend. Alright, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation. Now let's get the back. Now the back, it may look like these parts can move, but no, they don't move. They're pretty much static, they're pretty much stuck in there, so don't try to force it, or yeah, who knows what could happen. But they did a really nice job on the details going on here, so yeah, well done. And then we have the Perfect Kingdom, which you can actually take off. Give me a moment. You can take it off and then actually open up these sections to reveal the stag beetle and the owl right over here. And then you can actually take off the bottle, which reveals the gold version of the robot bottle. You can actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but you can see the gold engravings of the robot symbol right over there. So that is superb. And once again, you can flip it up and then reattach. Now I had some issues with these type of parts from past figures, such as Crossy Magma or Crossy with Crossy. So yeah, these parts can be tricky, but at least this one I am seeing no issues at all. What I used to have is that I basically got unlucky to the point where there was like some sort of problem with here. There was like a extra part popping out, so which actually affected me to plug it into the belt. But yeah, this one has no issue. And that's pretty much it for the review. So I can understand if you're not a big fan of this, that's fine. But if you're a fan of Kamen Rider Grease like me, and if you want to get this is worth it. I mean, there's a lot. The color is superb. The looks is amazing. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Grease Perfect Kingdom. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.